everybody. Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. It's another rivalry match. It's our second one. Well, second one that is actually being considered a rivalry match. 2,500 point battle. Lord Tremendous, that's me, the Wars of Chaos, versus my rival, Death, Holy Death, the Dark Elves. And this is, you're going to enjoy this one. And if you don't, well, then I'm a liar, and I guess you can sue me. But yeah. Yeah, it's actually a pretty good fight, and it has a slightly twist ending, kind of, sort of, if you believe in that kind of thing. As you know, we're doing narratives now, so sit back and relax and get ready to hear me read this to you in sultry tones. It had been over a month since Lord Tremendous lost his last battle against the hated Bleak Flowers. His death at the hands of their Reaper bolt throwers still stung his pride. Absently he scratched at his back where he could still feel the bolt that pierced him and cast him back into the warp. The thought rose his ire, and without realizing it, his claws drew his black blood where he scratched. The sight of Tremendous drawing blood set his Khorne warriors into a hooting and jeering rage. They practically begged for the chance to charge Lydia's battle lines. Tremendous held them back with a withering glare as he licked his claws clean. Even with most of his face wrapped in ancient cloth that bound him to this realm, mortals still knew when he was displeased with them. Tremendous enjoyed this power he had over the paper skins and lorded it over his army often. Eyeing Lydia's army, Tremendous saw her chariots were no longer with her. This fact made him smile. It was one more step towards Lydia losing face with her kind, and one more step towards his ultimate goal. Tremendous had been a patient mortal, and that trait had carried over to his immortal form. However, that trait did nothing to stop him yearning for his endgame to come to fruition. He couldn't wait to taste the sweet victory over the Bleak Flowers. With the same telltale smirk Tremendous wore whenever he thought of the Bleak Flowers' fate, he looked over at his frothing warriors and gave them the order to charge. His army needed no further goading. See, it's kind of foreboding. Here's my list. This is my Shiloh 2014 list. If you've seen it once, you've seen it 100 times. I've got my general, Lord Tremendous. He's my Demon Prince. Mark Zine. She's a level 3 wizard. Chaos Armor, Charm Shield, Dragonbane Gem, other Trickster Shard, Soul Feeder, Scaled Skin, Flaming Breath, and Laura Metal. My heroes are my Exalted Hero, Catalyst, the Keeper of the Colors. He's got the Mark of Zine. She's my BSB, Halberd, Chaos Steed, Helm of Many Eyes, and a Dawnstone. And then I've got my Exalted Hero, Berserk. He's got the Mark of Khorne, Extra Hand Weapon, Luckstone, Dragon Helm, and the Crown of Command. Last but not least is my Chaos Sorcerer, Saval, the Mercenary of Chaos. He's got the Mark of Zine. She's a level 2 wizard. He's on a demonic mount, the Pack Hog. He's got the Warrior Bane, the Enchanted Shield, the Skull of Catan, and Talisman of Protection, and uses the Laura Zinch. My core choices are 5 Chaos Warhounds with Scaled Skin, 23 Chaos Warriors, Blood Tide, with the Mark of Khorne, Full Command, Halberds, and Banner of Fury, and my Chariot, the Vessel of Change, with the Mark of Zinch. My special choice is 5 Chaos Knights, the Teeth of Zinch, with the Mark of Zinch and Sorcered Weapons, Banner, Musician, and the Standard of Discipline. My rare choices are 3 Skull Crushers, Khorne's Wrath, with Banner, Musician, Lances, and the Banner of Swiftness. And of course, the one, the only, the Mutalith Vortex. Gotta love the beast. My opponent's list is one, once again, that you've seen quite often. He's got his Dreadlord General, Lydia Bleakflower, Dread Lady of Harganeth, with heavy armor, Sea Dragon Cloak, and a shield, Giant Blade, Dawnstone, and the other Trickster Shard. He's also got his Supreme Sorceress, Lily Bleakflower, the Supreme Sorceress of Harganeth. She's a level 4 wizard with the Book of Asher and uses the Laura Life. His hero choices are his Death Hag, Julietta, Lady of Lacerations on a Cauldron of Blood. His little baby sorceress, Tessa, the Apprentice. She's a level 2 wizard, uses the Tome of Furion, and uses the Laura Dark Magic. And he's got his master, Idir Housecarl of the Bleak Flowers. He's his BSB. He's got heavy armor and a Sea Dragon Cloak. He's got the Sword of Might, Enchanted Shield, and the Iron Curse icon. His core choices consist of 25 Witch Elves with full command and a Razor Standard, 2 units of 5 Dark Riders with Musician and Shields, 15 Bleak Swords, which are a bunker for his casters. His special choices are 20 Executioners with full command and a Banner of Swiftness, and 4 Reaper Bolt Throwers. And his rare choices are 5 Doomfire Warlocks. These are my spells. 3 from Metal, 2 from Zinch, and 1 from the Beast. And these are his spells. What is it? 4 from Life, 2 from Dark Magic, I think, and 2 for his Warlocks. Here's deployment. As you can see, we didn't need the whole table. And really, it's just a square off. Tremendous is looking for revenge. I wasn't really thinking anything about strategy. I just wanted to get in there and tear up some elves. And to be honest with you, I think he was thinking the same thing. Get in there and tear up some chaos. So we get right down to it. There's really no tactics here other than get in and crush. Here's my right flank, or I'm sorry, my opponent's right flank. From left to right, there's a unit of his Dark Riders and 4 bolt throwers. Pretty simple. Here's his center. From left to right are his executioners with his BSB and General Lydia, the hated bleak flower. Dead center in the middle are his swarm of witch elves with his death hag on a cauldron. Behind them, kind of hard to see, are his bleak swords with both of his casters in there. And right next to them is his other unit of Dark Riders with shields and steeds and that crazy repeater shotgun thing that they use. And here's his left flank. He's got 5 Doomfire Warlocks. Here's my center, because I really don't have a right flank. From right to left, there's my Zinch Chariot, my Scaled Skin Dogs, my Chaos Warriors, Mark Korn, and this will be the last time you see them unpainted with Berserk installed. There's Saval. This will also be the last time you see him unpainted. And next to the Saval is my 3 Skull Crushers with lances and stuff, and this will be the last time you ever see them not painted. And my left flank, from left to right, there's my Knights, there's my Demon Prince, and there's my Beast. Here's top of 1 after movement, and as you can see, I kind of went first. I moved up just slightly. I was kind of hoping he would come closer to me. Actually, I'm sorry, I didn't go first here. He did. It's been a while. I'll let you know right now. It's the 27th when I'm doing this battle report, and we did this game way, way back on the 18th. So it's been almost 10 days since I played this game. So if I forget some stuff, I'm a bad person. I'll refund your money. But no, I just some details are going to be lost. We went to the Shiloh, and that's why I'm behind. And I'm posting those battle reports right after this one. So don't worry, you're not missing out on too much. But yes, I'm sorry. He went first, and he didn't really move up that much because he's a coward elf. During his magic phase, during his shooting phase, he takes pot shots at my dogs. He rolls really poorly. I think he was trying to cause panic checks because I had my Chariot and Saval right next to him, but he only kills 1. However, his bolt throwers get angry at my Demon Prince and fire massed volleys at him and get 2 wounds past his Charm Shield, which is painful. So we go to bottom of 1, and I move up because I'm a lot more aggressive than the coward elf. And as you can see, no charges were declared because he just didn't get that close, but everything is pretty much halfway across the table that can get halfway across the table. The warriors are a little slow, but we'll work on that. Over here, I try to get Zinch's Firestorm off on the witches, and it deviates completely off of them and away from everything else. I was trying to get that mass chunk right next to the cauldron. I was hoping, yeah, sure, they got a ward save, but hey, I'm going to probably get a handful of them. Nope. The big template completely deviates. And the miscast 6 ends up hurting Saval. As you can see, he's now carrying a wound. How awesome is that? I'm helping the elves. What the hell? So we go to top of 2 after movement, and for the most part, he doesn't move anymore. He scatters out of the way, and 1 unit of Dark Riders gets in the way of my Knights. Slow him down from getting into Bolt Thrower Valley, I guess? I don't know. Plains, whatever you want to call it. Other than that, yeah, the Warlocks back off, and the Fast Cav back off. Nothing really gets any closer, which is smart. He doesn't need to get closer. I do. During his magic phase, he gets Flesh Stone off on his Witch Elves because I don't care. I think he was more worried about me getting off the Mutilus spell on him or whatever. I'm not really sure. I didn't care because there was no way I was getting in combat with him. And then his Bolt Throwers. Even though my Demon Prince is in the Godforsaken Forest, he hits, he wounds, and he does 3 wounds, and that's it. Demon Prince is dead right off the bat. And Yeah, I guess that figures. I don't know. Sometimes, you know what? I shouldn't complain too much because my Demon Prince has gotten really lucky against his bolt throwers in our past few games. So this is what should happen. I don't know why I'm surprised. So now, once you're done boarding, we will continue on. We will go to the bottom of 2 after movement. And for the most part, it's exactly what you would expect. The Beast runs up, or I'm sorry, the Tzeentch Knights charge the Dark Riders because they were so nice to sacrifice themselves. My Chariot did charge his Warlocks, who decided to flee, and they get away. They're on top of that hill in his deployment area there now. My dogs run up just in case the witches feel froggy and want to charge them and give my Skull Crushers a beautiful flank charge. And the beasts and Saval dive into the forest and just start magicking up the hill because they're my only casters left on the table, which sucks. There's a better picture of the Warlocks running for their lives. They're just getting too old for this garbage, right? And there's a better picture of my Knights getting ready to just wholesale slaughter a bunch of Elves because pointy ears are better dead. During the magic phase, I'm able to get off Tzeentch's Firestorm on these bad boys. And as you can see, it's a pretty direct hit. I hit a whole bunch of them. And I wound almost none. Well, I shouldn't say almost none. I think I killed 4 or 5. It's not huge, but it's a decent amount. And it's better than none, right? They do end up making their toughness check, though. I think he rolls a 1, so now they have a 6-up war, or regen. During combat, my Knights, one of them dies. The sneaky little Elves, they find a weak spot, and they get them. Meanwhile, only 3 of theirs died. I rolled really, really bad. And what really upsets me is the bastards got away. So, yeah. So we go to top of 3 after movement, and his executioners are able to charge my Knights and slam into him. His Dark Riders rally, and his Warlocks fail to rally and run off the table. So, hey, I'll take 125 points. I've already given up 560 plus my Knights who just got slammed by executioners. So, well, 125 points is nice at this point, right? Other than that, nothing else happens. The Elves stand right where they're at, waiting for me to get closer. Yes, his witches do pass their leadership check to charge the dogs. Yeah, there's a better picture of the executioner slamming into my Knights. Yeah, they have Killing Blow, which, as you know, is a really terrible thing to have when you're fighting. Well, unless you're fighting knives or Knights, to have your opponent have Killing Blow, though, that really sucks. During his magic phase, he gets Power Darkness off, and now the steroided out Elves have +1 strength, and I don't care because I'm not going to see him in combat. And the bolt throwers slam into my damn Muleth and do 4 wounds. The only reason they didn't kill him is because that would have been too easy. What can you do? I'm not having a good game. During the magic phase or during the combat phase, it's exactly what you expect. My BSB gets Killing Blow, or my BSB issues a challenge, and I believe his general takes it, Lydia, and she just wholesale slaughters him, no problem. 2 of my Knights die, not to Killing Blow, just for failure to put on their armor, and the other 2 guys do absolutely nothing because, you know what, the dice gods have just abandoned me at this point, so it's one of those kinds of games, you know, everybody's had one, and this one is just going to be mine. Needless to say, my Knights in true form decide that screw this, and we're going to run, are you ready for it? 4 inches. A 2, a 2, and a 2. They run 4 inches. The executioners literally don't bother chasing after them. They just throw their swords in unison and chop them into ribbons. And then they calmly go after their swords and recover them, and that's where they end up right there. The beast does pass his panic check, although he was probably stupefied by the amount of cowardice that my Knights showed, and, you know, the fact that they didn't wear their armor to the battle. So it is what it is, but I'm still going to complain about it because it hurts my feelings. So we go to bottom of 3 after movement, and for the most part, I'm just grabbing at straws. My Chariot charges into his fast cav, and they're foolish enough to take it because, well, I shouldn't say foolish enough to take it. What other choice did they have? It was that or run off the table, right? Meanwhile, the rest of my stuff kind of moves up slightly. I've got my Skull Crushers in such a way that if they charge, or if the witches stay put, they can charge them next turn, which is fine because at this point I just don't care anymore. I need points. It's if I try to be cautious or careful or intelligent, I'm going to lose because being cautious and careful and stupid hasn't been working for me, and intelligence really isn't the way I like to play. So I moved everything up with the idea that I will just charge everything. Dogs, crushers, warriors, and just try to out combat res them the best that I can. Other than that, I don't really have any plans. And the beast just runs up because I think he tried to charge a bolt thrower and failed because failure is kind of what I'm into in this game. There's my chariot trying to get me like 80 points for that unit of fast cav or whatever the hell they're worth. And you know what? Now that I see the slide, my Skullcrushers did try to charge the witches and failed. It was kind of a distance of a charge. You know, I think I needed to roll a 10, maybe a 9, maybe an 8. Hell, for all I know, they needed a 4. But I'm really good at failing charges, so I decided to do it again. And there's another charge that was failed by my Mutilith because, well, that was actually an understandable one. I know that was a long charge, and it was just kind of a crapshoot. During my magic phase, I finally get Firestorm off on the witches. However, only 2 wound. Only 2. Because not only do I only roll a 2 for the strength, but he makes his ward saves. So, yeah, like 2 witches die, and now they have a 6-up regen. So, that's awesome. And then over here, the fast cav get run down because I think I kill all but one and I pursue the other one and we both go off the table, and that's where my chariot will show back up when he gets back on the table next turn, probably to an army that's not there anymore, right? So we got top of 4 after movement, and for the most part the witches are just finally like, screw it, we're charging the dogs. And I fled with the dogs. I was like, you know what, I don't want you to overrun into my warriors. I moved up too close. So the dogs are going to flee, and they get away. He tries to redirect into the, into the warriors, and fails his redirect leadership, and ends up right where you see, because he fails his charge. The dogs get away. My Corn Warriors don't care about the dogs fleeing through them. And his executioners reform to look at the beast. And let's face it, the beast is dead. I don't even bother. Right here, there's a better picture of my dogs fleeing from the witches and giving me a hopeful charge into the damn witches next turn. And so we go to bottom of 4 after movement, and look at it! My warriors made a charge! Yay! And so do the Skullcrushers. My chariot comes back to put a little pressure on the bleak flowers, the bleak swords and everything like that, because the idea was I've just got to make sure that they don't or that they have to move. I was kind of hoping that that Lydia and Tessa would leave the unit and give me a chance at them that way. That's why Saval came to the back there. I was going to wait for them to come out, and then I was just going to try to blast them off the table. And if not, the chariot slam into that unit and do his best to break them. There's a better picture of all my corn just slamming into the witches. I'm so flippin' fed up with the bleak swords right now. I'm just like, you know what? I'm having terrible luck in this game. I've gone straight to body count mode. I need to murder elves. And these witches are naked, so the hell with all of them. I'm going to kill as many of them as I can. Also, my Mutilith, he did try to charge the bleak swords. I'm sorry, I forgot. He did try to charge the bleak swords. They passed their terror check, and the idea was if I get in there, that would get me away from the executioners, but he failed to charge, and I don't blame the beast. He has 4 gaping holes inside of him right now. I understand. However, the beast does not disappoint. He gets his spell off on the bleak swords, and I roll a 6. A 6! And look at this, look how many died. Boom! Like half the unit dies and returns. And I put him right on the edge, giving him even more. I should have put him on the other side, but I was so excited I didn't think about it. I just threw him in there, which is kind of funny because it doesn't matter. They fail their panic check and flee off the table. Oh, how awesome. How awesome. The bleak swords go away. Lydia's gone. Tessa's gone. His magic phase is done, which is good because mine's about to go away. And I got all those points, those juicy, juicy points. And I killed a bunch of elves, and I got a spawn. The Beast! Gotta love my beast. Oh, how awesome is that? I'm really thinking that after the Shiloh, I should run 2 Mutalisks. I really, really think that would be worth it. But anyway, we get back to some more magic, and I get treason off on the witches. The only reason I did that was because I wanted them to use the lowest leadership in the unit. Right now, I mean, and it's an 8. I didn't know if the Death Hag was a 9 or not, but I was grabbing at straws here, so I went with the lowest leadership in the unit, which was an 8. I didn't think that his general's BSB or anything like that were in there, but just in case they showed back up, like during his phase, I didn't want them to be able to use the BSB. I didn't want to be able to use the general's leadership. I wanted them to break and die because they're not steadfast, they're not stubborn, so we'll see. But we go into combat, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter even for a second. My Corn Warriors and my Skull Crushers actually do well. They do incredibly well. I kill almost 20 witches. I lose a lot of guys. I lose like 11 warriors, and I get a wound put on my Skull Crushers. A lot of blood flows for the Blood God. But we break those naked, pointy-ear bastards and run them the F down. Blood for the mother effing Blood God. We ripped those naked ladies apart, and it felt so good. Oh, I had a cigarette afterwards, and I needed 2 towels. It was outstanding. But yeah, we go to top of 5. And as you can see, the Beast is going to have their frustration vented on them. So yeah, the Executioners charge into the Beast, and the Beast just stands. I didn't want to flee, because if I fled, they'd redirect into the Skull Crushers, who can't flee because they're frenzied. And even if they did, they'd bounce all the way off the table, and that would suck. So the Beast, who was already dead anyway, sacrificed himself for the greater good. And that's why the Beast is Beast. He's willing to be. He's an all-around. He's an Iron Man, you know? Other than that, nothing else happened because everything is either dead or a bolt thrower. There's a better picture of the Beast. Yeah, he's going to get slaughtered. I know he's going to get slaughtered, but it is what it is. Sometimes even the Beast has to get dead. During his shooting phase, his bolt throwers just empty into my Skull Crushers, and I only kill 1, which is kind of nice. And then the Executioner's empty into my Beast and kill 1. So yeah, that sucks. But you know what? The Beast got his points, and he did me proud, even though he couldn't charge. So it worked out in the end. And the fact that he's dead sucks, but he did something before he went. And I love you, Beast. I love you. So we go to bottom of 5 after movement, and the Skull Crushers, who are now pissed at the bolt throwers, charge in. And they get a hold of them, actually, no problem. I guess they're done with failing charges for a while, which is nice. Other than that, my Warriors turn to face, and my Chariot turns to face, because I know the Executioners are going to go after the Skull Crushers, but I need points. So my hope is he either fails his charge, or my Skull Crushers are able to just take out at least 2 bolt throwers, stop him from shooting anything, because I need points. I'm desperate. I don't know what the score is right now, but I know he's got Executioners and 4 bolt throwers left with his General and his BSB. I've got my Warriors, my Exalted Hero, my Chariot, my Dogs, Saval, and my Skull Crushers. It was going to be close. Maybe I should have held back, but I didn't want 4 bolt throwers to have another another round of shooting at me. There's my Skull Crushers, just basically saying the big F you to the bolt throwers, which is awesome. And surprise, surprise, I am able to blow through the bolt thrower no problem and slam into the other one, forcing one of them to panic, I think. I'm not 100% on that. So here's the top of 6 after movement, and as you can see, lo and behold, the Executioners make their charge into my Skull Crusher, which sucks. I knew they were dead, but I wanted to kill bolt throwers. Maybe not the smartest thing in the world, but that's what I decided to do. There's a better picture of the Executioner slamming into the Skull Crushers. During his shooting phase, the bolt thrower that could shoot shot at Saval, hits, wounds, doesn't kill him. It hurts him though, and that sucked. And then during combat over here, I was able to get the bolt thrower, and that's it. I think I tried to stomp the executioners, but the regen save I gave them earlier with the warp flame special rule from the firestorm that I got off, they were able to regen. I think 1 or 2 wounds that I put on them, so they really didn't take any damage. They do get my skull crushers, but what can you do? And then over here, bottom of 6 after movement. I try to go after the executioners. I send my warriors and my chariot into the executioners, and only the chariot makes it. Stupid move. I knew it was a stupid move when I did it. I was no reason for me to charge whatsoever, but I didn't care. I was having a good time. We were sitting around laughing. Everybody was like, charge them, and finish the elves. And I got swept up into the excitement, and I was like, frick it, charge. And he stood with both, and the warriors literally missed by an inch. They almost had it. Meanwhile, the chariot makes it by a landslide, slams into the executioners, and I was like, welp, there goes the chariot. But worth it. I don't have any regrets. It is what it is, and that's the way I like to play. Kind of reckless. It's still fun. I know it's a rivalry thing, but it's a fake rivalry, guys, and I get to kill more elves. So hey, I'm not above sacrificing a chariot for that. There's a better picture of my chariot that I got peer pressured into charging with. And yeah, I do get a few more executioners, but Lydia is able to just chop the chariot into bits. So what can you do, right? And there it is. There's the end of the game right there. It went from a landslide victory for the elves to a very close game, actually. Ignore the chariot, it's dead. But that was actually a very good game in the end. It went from being a total, just face pounding to a very close game. So I have no complaints. Here's Death's contribution to our narrative before we get to the Token Gal ad and stuff like that. Death wrote this, so sit back and relax, and I will sultryly read it to you. I know that's not how you say the word, but I don't care. The bolt sank into the massive demon prince. Black ichor flowed from the deep wounds, trickled down its massive form, and pooled into the craggy earth as the gigantic figure slumped to its knee. Skeins of vibrant blue light formed in the skin of the demon like cracks in breaking stone. A flash of light washed over the battlefield, followed by a gale of crushing wind and the shriek of a tormented departing soul. The battle raged on. Witch elves screamed praises to Cain as they flung themselves into the enemy ranks. The blades of executioners rose and fell in ceaseless rhythm. The darkest of magics whipped across the battlefield, and the winds of chaos howled. The warriors of chaos chanted mantras to their own dark gods as they fought for glory and triumph. The Chaos Warriors watched as the chariot scythed into the Drushi ranks and then exploded under a fury of blows from the crazed figure at its front. This spectacle abruptly jarred them from their battle rage. Taking stock of the situation, they neatly about-faced and withdrew in a quick order from the battle. Their champion, a huge brute covered in crimson armor and dried blood, turned to level his axe at the Druchi general, and a parting threat, a challenge and promise of future violence. Lydia Bleakflower, dread lady of Harganeth, and the sacred city of Cain, leered back at the departing champion and performed a gesture so obscene it seemed to shock the proud Khorne warrior. He stumbled, caught himself, and then wheeled about in a state closer to confusion than defeat. Lydia was drenched from head to foot in steaming blood and torn scraps of flesh. Her white hair, matted in gore and sweat, clung to her slender face in a chaotic tangle. Crazed violet eyes scanned the fresh battlefield before coming to rest on the blackened ruin of the demon beast. Her executioner guard shifted silently beside her, attempting to read the erratic dread lady's mood. A terrifying grin suddenly broke out across her face, and she bounded from the ranks, leaping lightly over the corpses of friend and foe alike to arrive at the shattered corpse. Mad laughter erupted from her throat as she brought her blade up and chopped downward in a flurry of frenzied blows, reducing the remains of the once proud demon into a puree of giblets and black ichor. Having fun, dear sister, Lydia Bleakflower, Lydia's twin sister, carefully picked her way through the battlefield, a look of distaste written across her face. She had taken care not to get any blood or dirt on her pristine robes and hoped Lydia wouldn't spatter any on her with wild gesticulations. Lydia hopped onto the skull of the demon prince, the only part left intact, and performed a flawless pirouette. I never get tired of that. Watching that thing get shot by bolt throwers is worth the trip alone, she laughed manically. Lily sighed. Well, we've routed the army, reinforcements are en route, and the path to the obsidian mine is clear. So, as it is, we're gonna make a killing when we get back home. Lydia smirked. Yup. And then there's the Northman slaves and all those gold statues. She hopped down off the skull, which our friend here was kind enough to make for us. I mean, that alone puts us in the green for profit. It's like half the reason we come here. The Dread Lady skipped back a few feet and then dashed forward, punting the skull off into a thicket. So thanks, Lord Terrific. She paused for a moment, searching her memory. That was the name, right? Probably. Or, whatever. I don't care who you are. That was actually pretty good. I enjoyed that. But anyway, that's it for that. So right now it's time for a quick timeout. Tokens, fellas. Tokens, tokens, tokens. Wound counters, augment markers, hex markers, every status, ailment, and effect you can think of, from not being able to move to the lore attributes to the lore hexes and bonuses that they provide. Everything that you can think of that you could need a marker for, that we use dice for, Token Grail makes the tokens. Send her an email, tell her what you need. Any gaming system, from Magic the Gathering to Infinity to Malifaux to 40k to Fantasy, whatever you need tokens for, she will make them, and they come out they're flawless. Look at them. They're the glass beads. They magnify the words in the picture, so they're really easy to see from the tabletop and everything like that. They're a lot more accurate than dice, and they're dirt cheap, guys. She sells them for less than $10 a kit. Dirt cheap prices, solid gold quality. Totally worth it. Send her an email, get yourself some tokens. The only request that I make is that if you are overseas, if you're outside of America, before you send her an email, you have to understand that shipping prices are through the roof. So as long as you're okay with paying like $30+ shipping fees, don't send her an email, because it's just going to waste both your times. But if you are in America or you don't mind high shipping fees, then by all means, send her an email, get yourself some tokens. Totally worth it. Alrighty, well, here's our current rivalry score. Lord Tremendous versus Death Holy Death. I've won 5, we've tied 0, and he actually won the 8th because he pulled this one off. And wait till you see what the score was. Boom! It was a minuscule loss for Lord Tremendous. It was, I got 1,700 points exactly from him. He got 1,813 from me. That's right, had I not charged the chariot, it would have been a draw. So let that be a lesson to everybody out there. Don't let peer pressure force your hand to do things. Okay, I know. I shouldn't have charged. It would have literally been a 7-point difference between us. Okay. I admit I screwed up. Shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have charged. There's a lot of things I probably shouldn't have done in this game. But I did. Can't go back in time and change it. And to be honest with you, it was kind of funny. I ended up losing my Demon Prince, my BSB, my Chariot, my Knights, my Crushers, and the Beast. The Dark Elves ended up losing their Sorceress, the Sorcerer, the Death Hag, the Bleak Swords, the Witches, 2 Bolt Throwers, the Warlocks, and both units of Dark Riders. So there was a ton of dead on the field. Missed the draw by 13 points. If I had just not charged my Chariot, right? Oh well. Peer pressure and, the way I play and, me. I lost because I shouldn't have charged, but it was still funny. I still see that as one hell of a comeback for me. Even Death was like, wow, that got really close. But he's really good. He's really good. Almost a draw. Ah, it's gonna bug me for a while. All right, all right, all right. No more screwing around against death. From now on, I'm just going Van Damme, full Vin Diesel, any kind of a V word. I'm just gonna go after him. Not that V word. Calm down. But I'm loving this rivalry. I'm actually really enjoying that you guys are getting a huge kick out of it. This was a really fun game, even though my Demon Prince and my Beast died. And damn you for that death. But I'm looking forward to seeing how this rivalry pans out. It's a lot of fun playing against death. I enjoy doing these battle reports. And the narrative side is actually kind of fun. So once again, as always, if you guys are enjoying it or you see something that we're falling short on, by all means, make mention of it, and we'll try to fit it in or fix it or whatever. But yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for this battle report number 90. Another milestone. 10 more, and we hit 100. I should probably do something fancy for 100, but I can't think of anything to do. If you guys can think of anything, throw it in the comment section below, and if it's a good idea, I'll do it, and if it's a bad idea, I will ridicule you mercilessly. Probably not, but it's cool to say. But as always, questions, comments, concerns, complaints, put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.